Still a few flowers about. Got cosmos outside the back door and Japanese anemone. And enjoying the garden spiders that are about. So I'm here at the moment. You can see it, a bit of a splodge there. Earlier there was a male trying to mate with her, but no, he got a bit scared and dropped off the web. It's fascinating to watch. Got Borealis. This is a dwarf version. It's still in flower here. We've got taller one growing here, and much taller ones further up the garden. The lemon balm has been cut back a bit now, because it was not woody and flowers had finished. Got a new plant there. I brought this is while I was on holiday. A shrub, the hebe shrub. Had bees on it already. Still got one or two bees about, mainly carder bees, because we've got the nest in the garden. Tomatoes finished. We had blight, so I had to take them all out. So it's a bed at the moment. So I've got the mint in there, a cosmos, some young wild strawberry seedlings that I've got going. Got some marjoram, chilies, chives, rosemary. This is a clematis I'm trying to get going, that I want to put in the garden at the top. It's a winter flowering. Oh, it's winter flowering. I shouldn't let this flower really. There is a bud on it. It's a winter flowering one. So it's doing well then. The Borage is self-seeded. Got white and blue in this old box down here. It's one of those recycle boxes. Great big giant beautiful foxglove here. Can't believe how magnificent that is. Beautiful foxglove. Stunning. Those leaves. The buddleia is finished now. It's all finished flowering. This little buddleia here. Another spider here. Right in front of my bay. This is a bay tree. I still get a few bays off it. I've got some in a chicken already cooking. This is a winter flowering clematis too, and the other clematis are all finished now. Just the seed heads on. In this, oh wow, it's a beautiful big hoverfly. Enjoying the sun there. Look, isn't that a beauty? This is on my alder buckthorn shrub. Oops, got caught up in seed heads. Just going into a little tinge of autumn colour coming into it now. The Borealis is being visited by bees. This is from Wild Your Garden plant store. Well worth a visit. They've done really well. There's a carder bee on the top there feeding. And all the rotten wood at the end of the shed. That's an old shed building there. That's where we keep our music room. Bee boxes are all staying up. I'm just leaving them now. In here we've got purple sprouting broccoli. It's been eaten alive by caterpillars. We've got anyway. We've had small white caterpillars on it, but there's not much left, and I do want them to keep growing, especially for the flower heads next year. So I've taken off the caterpillars and put them on the nasturtium plant I've got. It's a carrot plant going to seed here, and another hoverfly feeding nicely on it. See it there? The focus isn't great, but yeah, lots of hoverflies about today. It's a lovely day. Sorry birds, sparrows have just come for some food. It's okay, you can feed. They're quite used to me in the garden now, and they'll feed quite happily. They got used to me and my little whistle. Right, I have another hollowfly, tiny one, on this little plant. The Rebecca's in flower. This is in an old butler sink, self-seeded. It's very cramped, but it comes back each year. And we've got the sorry, it's quite sunny. We've got the fuchsia in flower still, and lots of honeybees visiting this. A buddleia as a honeybee. Buddleia is still producing a few flowers. Just going over. There's a bee visiting that one again. So still lots of bees about. Mainly carder bees because of the nest. We've got important flowers here coming. These are ivy flowers. Very important at the end of the year for the insects. And yeah, so I'll cut that back probably in about February before the birds start looking for nest sites. It encroaches onto, well, it takes over the lilac tree, and it encroaches into my neighbour's garden, so I'll give it a good cut back in February. I've got a lovely ragged robin here. That I grew from seed in a pot, and it's sending out lots of new plants, so I'm going to have plenty of that next year. I need to repot that. Now onto the lavender bed. Still the odd flower. I know a lot of people will have cut their lavender back by now, but I don't cut it back till I see it all stripped, because once the flowers are finished and the seeds start to dry out, the goldfinches come down and strip it of seeds. It'll be completely stripped, so I'll leave it till then, so it'll be fine. Continuing up, a couple of chive flowers in flower there. Cut them back and they flowered again. Look at that. And there you go. Look how important that is. A little bee just landed on it. Another card bee. And mainly males. Lots of male card bees about. This is the Joe Pye plant. I've taken the flower heads off, the seed heads off, due to how rampant they are at self-seeding. So I know their seeds are important for birds, but there's plenty in the garden. I leave other things, but I do cut that back. I've left a couple of heads on, but not an abundance. The Borealis down here. This is again from Joel's Wilder Garden. Look at it, so tall. Russian sage here. As the lavender goes over, it's worth planting this next to lavender. So as that lavender finishes, the Russian sage starts, and the bees will visit that instead. Around here, there's geranium, more of Joel's verbena, Japanese anemone. It's very damp here, and something's been having a good old dig down there. It's either a squirrel or a fox. Not sure what it's been digging for, but it's certainly been digging. He's probably the fox. There, fill back up. Roses are still producing. This is producing loads of buds here. Last flourish. Japanese anemone in flower. Love their seed heads. Look at them. Gorgeous. Pyracantha is covered in for its first flush of red berries. Look at those. They're so beautiful. Such a beautiful red. And I've planted another Pyracantha next to it. So I'm hoping to fill from this post to the next post with Pyracantha. and I will try and just keep it to the height of the fence. We've got Mauve's Bowl here, still being visited by bees. Gosh, there's so many webs, I'm trying not to break them. These spiders are everywhere this year. We've had an abundance of them. Didn't have many last year, but yeah, here's another one here. The bee in the background on the Mauve's Bowl. Mauve. Can't remember the name. Right, please be no webs here. Right, this bed now is it's all just slowly sinking into autumn. The geranium has completely taken over, but it's not flowering much. I think next year I'm going to have to make sure I prop a lot of this up. It sort of collapses on itself. Or cut it back and perhaps cut it back quicker. I've got cosmos in here. Cosmos there, just dead-headed. So you should send up a few more flowers. I've been getting all the seeds off the astrantia. This is astrantia, this is a purple astrantia. So I've been taking seeds off that. There's still a few seeds on here. Amazing how many seeds they hold, really. Yeah, great plant and easy to propagate. There you go, there's a couple of seeds there, and I just drop them on the ground and hope they'll self-seed. Japanese anemone. This shrub produces berries that the birds like. Yeah, still looking okay. You can see the autumn colours creeping in. I've had a woodpecker come into the garden, so I've put some fat balls out. He seems to be enjoying those. Great spotted woodpecker, they come in regularly. Oh yeah, just wanted to show you the honesty seeds. Oh, and there's a shield bug on that one. Can you see the shield bug there? There we go, lovely shield bug. And the honesty seed head. You can see all the seeds inside starting to lose their outer coat, their outer sleeve, and then the seeds fall out. There's quite a few honesty seedlings in here, but they're easy to transplant. Quite a few down here, that's not a problem. And noticed a few have self-seeded over here too. They'll all be in flower next year. Over on this side we've got the oregano, as all but finished now. It's all seed heads. There's one or two little flowers hanging on, but not many. We've got the last of the phlox flowers, Japanese anemone, 2 different kinds, geranium. I forget the name of this shrub. It's called the butterfly shrub, I think. Butterfly something, because it supposedly looks like butterflies floating. Carry on up. I had a bit of a disaster with one of my asters, as I told you. It had completely dried out and all the leaves had shriveled up. They've now dropped off, as you can see. Some are still curling up, but if you look you can see all the new buds. It hasn't killed it. There's loads of buds on it, so I'll need to do a bit of TLC to it, but some of them are even beginning to grow. They're quite big, those buds. Lovely insect running along there, don't know what that is. Fascinating little insects. So I need my macro camera now. I'll be taking a photograph of that. Snowberry is producing a few berries for the birds. Over here I've planted a ceanothus, so I'm hoping that that will produce lots of flowers next year. So it's a ceanothus that has the lovely blue flowers on, so it should fill that space quite nicely. Poppies are coming up. These are ornamental poppies. Those are coming up. And then we've got lots of fox and cubs and yarrow, lots of yarrow, and yeah, wild carrot, all sorts in here, creeping jenny, lots of ground cover, great for insects to hide and hibernate under. Some of the grass has been cut. Oh, the lawn, that's probably the biggest change, is I did cut the grass down there. If I move down a bit, sorry goldfinches, I'm disturbing the goldfinches now, excuse my shadow. The border on the right, that was long and that's been cut, and there was a sort of patch of long grass in the middle and that's been cut, so yeah, so that's all been cut now. That'll be the final cut for me. Next, that sounded like the woodpecker. We've got a few marguerites still in flower, and we've got cosmos. We've got just in there, there's leeks at the back. I don't think you can see them very well. There's leeks at the back and purple sprouting broccoli at the front. That's for our consumption, so it's netted. See the difference when it's not being eaten by caterpillars, the size of those compared to the ones down the bottom. Lots of cosmos flowers here. A little bit of Borage, verbena, catmint, but that's sort of Nepeta, but it's sort of finished now, perhaps for the year. I've moved a bird box to there. That used to be on the cherry tree, but I've moved it onto the fence, see if it makes a difference. Might get some great tits in there this year. I've had great tits nesting on this fence, not last year, the year before. There's a nest box right in there. I'm not sure if you can see it. See if I can get a bit closer. I can't see because of the light, whether you can see. Anyway, yeah, there it is, the nest box. And we had great tits nesting in there 2 years ago. Yeah, this bed is mainly pots, because along here, a great bit, all the way the length of this garden, there was a great big concrete path, slabs. They're not slabs, just concrete blocks, and I can't lift them. It's ridiculous. There it is. You can see it there. The whole length of that garden. When we moved in, there was nothing growing on the right, nothing growing on the left. There was the apple tree behind me and 2 rose bushes. And that was it. There was nothing else in this garden apart from dead grass. Well, not dead, but very long, uncut grass. So it had sort of compacted, as it hadn't been cut for years. So because I couldn't get that slab up, I just put pots on top. It's the easiest for me. So yeah, lots of pots, and they do really well, and they feed the insects well. So there's a little pond there as well, because I've got a lily in there, and it's supposed to be a dwarf lily that in the pond has got enormous. So I put it in here, and yeah, it seems to be staying a bit smaller in there. Take it out, cut some of them off, and I'm hoping that a dragonfly will pop in there. We get lots of daphne in it, and water shrimp in there, so food for dragonfly larvae. The main pond, I did give it a clean out the other day, took out lots of growth. It was compacted really with oxygenator, so I took a lot of that out, and I can see some leaves are dropping in. I need to sort that out. And I did take off some of the duckweed, but as you can see, it's back in abundance. It's such a nuisance, and I advise no one to have duckweed in their pond when it's small like that. This rose has got very dense, lovely. I'm hoping that birds will start nesting in it, but the top is I have to get a step ladder and cut the top off, which I did do about 2 weeks ago, and it just seems to have encouraged more growth. I'll do one more cut, and hopefully as the weather cools down, I think next week is cooling down, it will stop growing. The cherry tree, I'm not sure, I mean you probably can't tell, but I can tell. There's lots of new growth on the cherry tree. So the cherry tree survived its severe pruning. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of new growth on it. I'm quite happy that that's got through, and it should survive the winter. Didn't get silver, I think it's called silver leaf disease that they can get. So yep, that's good. Lots of wasps about too, hoverflies and wasps. Wasps doing lots of hunting. Got a great photo the other day of a green bottle. It was being hunted by the wasps and caught it, and wow, great! I got it just as it decapitated it. These are asters growing and obviously attracting the bees too. These are great because they're late flowering. There's two different kinds. There's like a more simple one there, and this one's like a bit denser, which seems to have more of the insects on. We've got a hoverfly and a carder bee on there at the moment. They're beautiful, aren't they? They only start to open as the weather cools, with the marguerite next to it. It's lovely. Ferns, seed heads of the... here, more marguerite. Fruit bed, well, all the apples. We didn't get a June drop, but we seem to have had a September drop. A lot of the apples have come off now. We didn't have that many on, and we must get a few. It doesn't normally grow footballs, but it seems to have appeared to have grown a football. That's the children's next door. They play football a lot, and that's their ball. Let's see if we can get it. There we go. Just throw that over next door. There we go. I'm forever throwing the footballs back. Yeah, we've had one or two apples, but not many this year. Might be enough to make one apple pie. Next year should be a good crop. But all the food on the floor for the birds and wildlife, so that's not a problem. Sure, the mammals are enjoying them. Right, we're up by the carder bee nest now. I've shown you. There's the entrance, remember? A little video of mine showing you the carder bee nest. The mound at the back, the mossy mound, is the main nest, and that's the entrance down there. Entrance and exit, I should say. Yeah. Normally one comes, they come in and out quite regularly. There we go, still active. Right, under the arch, which is covered in Montana, Clematis montana. I've put a bird box in it this year, so I'm hoping that will attract a bird as well. The raspberries have reduced in height and they just become a bit more growth, but I do reduce them in height. I need to have a go at the red currants and the white currant. The holly's doing okay. I'm just conscious of the Montana not growing into it, but yeah, ivy's doing fine. Nettles in the background, and it looks like the blackberry brambles are finishing now. They're going to seed, a lot of them. We had so many this year, an abundance of them. Reverse out. Right, the goldenrod's going over. It's been attracting a lot of a little moth called, there's one at the back, but if I don't know if you can see it there they are. They're called nettle tap moths. It's hiding, they're very good at hiding. I sneak past, we might see it from the other side. Let me turn you around gently and see if we can see it from the other side. Oh, it's flown off. It spotted me. Yeah, there were a lot of nettle tap moths about, but yeah, they seem to have finished now. I was getting clouds of them as I walked by. More raspberries here. This is a little tree that produces lovely early flowers for the bees. Few struggling on giant knapweed there. The rest of the knapweed's all gone to flower, gone to seed, and I love the seed heads. Look at the seed heads of this knapweed. Yeah, that's the nettle bed. massive nettle bed, and the blackberries, as I say, they're going over now. There's one or two but not many. I've got my hawthorn in a pot here, but that's going to be moved. It's only got a few berries on, but it's a bit of food. Oh, there's more blackberries to come there. Don't know whether we'll have enough warm weather for them, and a few there behind the compost bin before winter sets in. I've got that prickly plant there. That's I forget the name of it. It's extremely prickly and produces flowers for December. I can just see some flower heads coming on the top. There's the flower heads. Produces lovely yellow flowers. It's so prickly. They're just beginning to come. I just chop the top off each year to sort of keep it under control. Got some buddleias in pots there that are self-rooted into the ground. I've cut those back hard because they were so tall they were blowing over. My oak tree in a pot, that's its new spot. I've left this Joe Pye to keep going here, and I'll leave the seeds on this. It can self-seed up here, I don't mind that. Carefully go up the garden. Lots and lots of honesty seedling there. Peacock bush produces berries too. The elderberry, wood pigeons have been stripping it, but it's a very old elderberry. I'm amazed it's still going. It's more dead than alive. So I've brought that. I brought a new elder to place in this spot. Once I've sorted the wood out, it'll go there. Yeah, that's the garden really. Up to where I put all the dead hedge. Yeah. Yeah. All up into the ash trees. There's my. Oh, I can spot a damson on the floor. Might be the odd damson on the damson tree. Looking at the light through the hazel there. Isn't that lovely? That's my hazel. Took that as a little from my mum's garden. A little self-seeded hazel. I'm not sure if it's ever. Well, I don't think it's got any hazelnuts on this year. Never seen it with any yet. Oh, it's a really good hoverfly there. Just landed. Oh, there it is, hovering. Yeah. So the den's looking good. That's where the foxes come through. A little space there. A little bit of our tree left up the top there. Yeah. This is the wilderness.